Hi everybody, my name is Kelly. I am back again. I don't know if it's because I am uploading from China, but dear YouTube, would you be showing more human being my video? Because so far my videos are getting 0 to 1 or 2 views. Okay, maybe because my topics are horrible and nobody's interested, okay, but whatever. I'll treat this diary if nobody wants to read about it, right? So today I want to talk about staffing issues in a SME, small medium sized company. When I first started my business, I think that the most difficult thing for me was hiring people. I don't know how to hire. I don't know what kind of position I should be hiring, because when I first started my business, it's just me, myself, and I do every single aspect of the business, including advertising, website building, seeing customer, following up, admin, sweep floor, everything that you can think of, right? So when I think about hiring at first, I'm like, okay, I probably need help lah, but what kind of help exactly? I don't know. So the first person I hired was a PA, because I'm thinking like, okay, if I just want this person to help me here and there, then wouldn't the job title be just personal assistant, because she's assisting me, right? um Before this assistant left, she actually told me something that I remember up till today. She's like, Kelly, you hired me as your PA, but I think that you are actually not hiring me as a PA, because I'm doing a lot of things that's also not really PA, in my thoughts. So when I think about that, I actually reflect on myself lah. I think probably I'm not very fair towards this first lady that I hired. It's not that I purposely want to make her life difficult. It's just that I genuinely thought that, PA would be the good title and all that, which then kind of helped me in hiring my other staff, because after that assistant incident, it kind of prompted me to think a little bit further into what kind of job role should I define when I hire somebody. So I think when a person is looking for a job, right, she or he would be going online and search for the profession that she's most comfortable with. So for example, this person is a web designer, she'll be looking for web design jobs, right? If this person is looking for a sales job, she look for sales job, right? It's very straightforward. But for small, medium-sized companies, very often this person may need to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of that, because your company is so small. It's difficult for you to define one job. If this person comes into the company and only do one job, then the owner still have to do like 90% of the job lah. And then this person won't really have much things to do if she only does one job. I think most of the small business owners will understand where I am coming from. So then what I did for my subsequent hires was that I kind of put the job title for what she will be doing most of the time. So for my industry, I am in wedding dresses. So I put like wedding consultant as the main job title. But in the description, I also say that they have to do a little bit of other things, just so that they will know what's going on. I think that with so many years of hiring, the one advice that I get from hiring people is that be as honest to them as possible when it comes to their job role. Because this person who will be working for you, she is either going to leave another company to join you, or that she's going to just join you without looking at other industry. So there is an opportunity cost that this person is giving up to work for you, right? So I think it's relatively important to let this person know exactly what she's getting herself into, and that only to join you if she's comfortable with all of this. I make it a point today to know each and individual of my hires. I want to know what's their personal goal. I want to know what my company can help them to achieve their personal goals. I think that in today's society where job, is everywhere and everybody have the freedom to choose what they want to do, if you expect this person to just work for you and do things for you, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be more one-sided. And very soon your staff can feel a little bit like detached, or she cannot be bothered, right? And it's only natural. Like, I can't imagine myself working for a company that doesn't really care about my personal growth. I want to work for a company that I believe in, that cares about my personal growth as well. I think that's essential when it comes to hiring nowadays. Be as honest to your staff as possible, and to kind of make sure that whatever that this person wants aligns with the company and aligns with what you can give back in time. So say after you've gotten this staff in, and that, you know, her goals align with yours and she's happy, you know, to work for you and all that, the next important step would be to help her to set up a workflow in the company, right? So when I first started hiring, okay, just a little bit of a background of myself. Before I did wedding, I've actually never worked before. So I don't know how it is like to work for other people. So for my first few hires, I'm so sorry if you're watching this video and then you're really pissed off with me. I am sorry, because I don't know how to work with staff. I've never worked with anybody before I hired my first few staffs, right? So I may have made a lot of mistakes back then. I was in a mess. I don't really know what to do. I thought that, you know, if I were to bring a staff in, then I need to kind of tell her what to do. So I remember that for my first few staff, I try to get them to break down, you know, let's say this time to this time, what will we be working on? This time to this time, what are we going to be working on, and all that. But it became quite problematic for myself, because the timetable kind of thing is what I follow very well myself. So let alone other people. So I think whichever way of workflow it is, try to come up with a workflow that can work with yourself and your staff. What I am doing today is that we've set up a clear and very defined company SOP with all the job roles that all the job tasks that we can think of, and then I go through and then we go through every single task that this person will be doing within the SOP, and that whenever they have questions and all that, they could always go back to the SOP to refer and to check in and all that, just to make things more standardized for everybody, so we know what to expect from each other. I think a lot of times when it comes to hiring the first staff and all that, it can be a little bit intimidating for both of the staff as well as the boss, because for the staff perspective, right, she would be looking at you and you're the only owner that's there. She'll be like, what, if I ask her what happened if, you know, she gets angry with me. And for the boss, it's the same thing, because she'll be thinking that, oh, how come this person don't know, and then she doesn't want to communicate with me. So I think in terms of hiring, making sure that the role align, being honest, setting up a good job role is important. Next thing will be communications. So make sure that you're spending time to talk to your staff and understand what her difficulty is. If there's any changes that you've seen in her, make sure that you find time to communicate with him or her, understand if there's anything going on, and if there's anything that you can help this person with. After being in business for 15 years, I think the thing that I have learned the most is that the people that you work with, your staff, I stopped viewing them as my staff. I started to view them as humans, right? So helping them with the need, helping them with in times of need, and communications to them and all that, they are really important. I would say that for most of the companies that I've seen, that has very angry staff, very detached, can't be bothered staff, most of the time is because communications isn't met. And when you have no communication, you don't have an understanding for each other, that's the time that the staff can start to give up after a while. And it's either that, you know, she leave the company, or she just stay there being unbothered. So yeah, I think that's all about stuff that I can think of. So one, to define your job role, make sure that your goals and everything align, be as honest as possible when it comes to the job scope, um, communications with your staff. Yeah, so I think that is all when it comes to hiring that I have to say. So okay, hopefully I get more than 0 views this time. Bye bye YouTube.